So Gail, we are working with so many teachers. It's the greatest job, and we're getting more and more questions, in particular about cafe.
Yes, we are. Partly, I think, because we started with Daily 5, and then it's like, where does cafe fit with the look of Daily 5?
And you know, it's when we think about cafe, what we know, yes, it is an assessment. Part of it is the assessment, but sometimes that can put people off because there's so much pressure from many district or state levels to say you have to use these are assessments. And what we know about cafe, any good assessment is worth its weight in gold. And cafe isn't, you don't have to use that as an assessment piece, but when we use a good assessment, we inevitably are getting the information on what kids are good at and what their greatest needs are.
Well, and then CAFE comes right in because the C stands for comprehension, which if you're using any assessment, a good one where the kids are reading real text, then we can assess their comprehension. Not only that, you're assessing it with your own assessment, but you layer on that CAFE menu, so you're able to look at the C for comprehension. The A, you can look at accuracy, so you can even do a running record if that's what you're doing to see if the children are reading accurately. And then if they aren't, you look at that CAFE menu to help you get some strategies on where the student can go next.
And then, you know, if you're working with Fluency and you're doing a Fluency screener, you don't need to do a separate screener even. You can use the assessment you have. And if they're struggling in Fluency, we know Fluency is an indicator that something else is going on. But there are some other things that we can do to support kids to increase their fluency so that it supports their comprehension. And so the F is for fluency, and then the E is for expanding vocabulary. So that is that CAFE menu. All of those components are the pieces that we know come together and work together to make a good reader. Any good assessment is going to assess all of those components. So it's just that next step for teachers. Okay, I know that they need help with comprehension. What do I teach? What would be a starting point? And it lists those out for them, and the Ready Reference Guides can say, here's some ideas if you have a child struggling in comprehension, here's some of the strategies, and here's some ideas with how to teach those.
Right, and it also builds that same language if you have with your kids and with other teachers, if you're using those strategies. Those Ready Reference Guides in the back of the book are such a great tool because they do have, you know, what is the definition of each strategy, what's the secret to success, because every strategy we use, there's a little secret in order for it to work. I mean, for example, check for understanding, in order for you to do that, you have to stop. And kids many times don't know what those secrets are. So having that reference in the back, I think, has really been helpful for us.
Well, and we hear from teachers that when they're using CAFE school-wide or district-wide, the power of the common language, so that we don't have to have children deciphering, okay, well, she said this way and she said that way. What are we talking about? These are the strategies that they need to help them get better at reading.
You know, and also those strategies aren't ones that we just kind of decided that were cute but those are ones that we did a lot of research into, ones people were using the most often. We got them from research. We looked at Common Core. We've looked at many other pieces and pulled them all together, and that's what really makes up that menu. But the other thing about it, the power of it, is it's a visual aid. The CAFE menu is a visual aid, so if people have other strategies that they think are so important, use those. Put them up on the CAFE menu, but have that visual aid for kids to use.